Welcome to this video on the landmark case, New Jersey versus TLO. This mock trial presentation explores the conflict between student privacy and school authority. New Jersey versus TLO, decided in 1985, began as a juvenile delinquency proceeding in 1980. The case involves a 14-year-old student, TLO, whose purse was searched after she was caught smoking, leading to the discovery of drugs and paraphernalia. The factual background involves TLO being caught smoking, denying it, and the vice principal searching her purse. Finding rolling papers led to a deeper search, uncovering marijuana and other items. This situation created a real conflict between student privacy and school authority. The case began in juvenile court, where the judge denied TLO's motion to suppress the evidence. However, the New Jersey Superior Court Appellate Division reversed this, holding the search unreasonable. The state of New Jersey then appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court. In early September 1980, 14-year-old TLO was caught up in a school policy that granted administrators sweeping authority for random searches. This policy aimed to maintain a tough-on-drugs stance and keep the school safe and orderly. Following a rumor, the principal searched TLO's locker, finding cigarettes and condoms. A police liaison officer was called, and TLO was questioned. This search was intended to demonstrate the school's active stance against misconduct. The incident quickly escalated from school discipline to criminal charges. TLO's lawyer filed a motion to suppress the evidence, arguing the search violated the Fourth Amendment due to a lack of probable cause. The trial court initially granted the motion, but the case proceeded up the appellate system to the Supreme Court. TLO's case revolves around her Fourth Amendment right against unreasonable searches and seizures. The search of her purse, intended to confirm smoking, revealed evidence of drug possession. The central question before the Supreme Court was whether this evidence was obtained constitutionally. New Jersey argued school officials need flexibility to maintain safety. TLO's defense insisted students retain constitutional rights, requiring probable cause for personal searches. The Supreme Court ultimately established a new, more flexible standard: reasonableness, under all the circumstances. We now turn to the arguments and potential witnesses for the state of New Jersey, focusing on school safety and the authority of administrators. Theodore Choplik, the assistant principal, is a key witness. As the policy architect, he can demonstrate that the search was consistent with district guidelines and a reasonable exercise of authority, using his first-hand knowledge of the incident. Mr. Choplik's testimony is vital for the state. He will explain how he confronted TLO about smoking and how the discovery of rolling papers justified the subsequent deeper search, supporting the school's need for maintaining discipline. The discovery of rolling papers was a key turning point. It suggested more than just simple smoking, justifying a deeper search into the purse. This finding led to suspicions of drug possession. Assistant Vice Principal Choplik's testimony on the initial smoking confrontation and the subsequent discovery of rolling papers is crucial. This evidence supports the school's necessary need for maintaining discipline and justifying the search. The school's search policy gave administrators broad authority for random searches. This visible, tough-on-drugs stance aimed to keep the environment safe and orderly. Administration believed in acting quickly on any hint of misconduct. School search arguments are based on having a written policy as a backbone to legitimize the search. They also rely on facts, not hunches, to fuel suspicion, ensuring proportionality and minimal intrusion given contextual privacy expectations. The search was authorized by clear district policy, aligning with the reasonable scope requirement established by the Supreme Court. Reasonable suspicion was supported by specific, objective facts, such as prior incidents and peer reports. The scope of the search was reasonably tailored to the suspected violation. Furthermore, the intrusion was minimally invasive, given the students' reduced expectation of privacy in school lockers, which are considered semi-public spaces. Next, we will examine the arguments and witnesses for TLO, focusing on student rights and the constraints of the Fourth Amendment. TLO's key arguments centered on the Fourth Amendment. Her lawyer argued that the search of her purse, which revealed drugs, violated constitutional protection due to lack of probable cause. This led the Supreme Court to establish the, quote, reasonable suspicion standard. TLO's defense argued that the search lacked probable cause and moved to suppress all the evidence found. The core contention was that students retain constitutional rights, including Fourth Amendment protection, even inside the school gates. The core dispute became a procedural constitutional question, whether the search violated TLO's Fourth Amendment rights. The defense lawyer sought to suppress the illegally obtained evidence, making the central issue the limits of reasonable search and seizure authority in schools. While Vice Principal Choplik was the main school witness, TLO's lawyer, Michael Romano, played a crucial role. The case became a procedural fight over whether the evidence was admissible under the Fourth Amendment. The defense's core argument was straightforward. The search of the student's purse lacked probable cause and violated the Fourth Amendment. They insisted that students retain their full constitutional rights in school and demanded suppression of the evidence. Students do not entirely lose their constitutional rights at school. The Fourth Amendment protects them from unreasonable searches. School authority must be balanced against a student's fundamental right to privacy, a concept affirmed by previous cases like Tinker versus Des Moines. Initially, the juvenile court denied the motion to suppress the evidence and adjudicated TLO as a juvenile delinquent based on the findings from the school search. This decision was later reversed by the appellate courts. The New Jersey Superior Court Appellate Division reversed the ruling, agreeing with TLO that the search was unreasonable under the Fourth Amendment. This reversal was affirmed by the New Jersey Supreme Court. The state of New Jersey appealed the reversal to the U.S. Supreme Court. The core legal question challenged the application and scope of the Fourth Amendment in schools, balancing student privacy versus school authority. The Supreme Court established a new standard for school searches: reasonableness under all the circumstances. This decision balanced student privacy with school safety needs, meaning officials no longer need, quote, probable cause for student searches. The Supreme Court established the, quote, reasonable suspicion standard, balancing student privacy against school safety needs. School officials no longer require the higher standard of probable cause, but the search must be justified initially and reasonable in its scope. Applying the new standard of reasonableness means that school officials must justify the search at its start and scope. This standard, less stringent than probable cause, balances the need for school safety with student privacy. The TLO ruling legacy is the reasonable suspicion standard. The court balanced student Fourth Amendment privacy with school safety needs. This standard continues to govern student searches in schools across the country today. Thank you for watching this video on the New Jersey versus TLO mock trial.